Whiskey. Okay. A little bit. I got my Jack Daniel's single barrel brew accompanying me on this particular Bottlefield evening. Hey everybody, it's Gladys back here once again, and with me as always is Doing Work.
What up?
And Cryptic Panther.
Hey everybody.
And we've got a big podcast ahead, plenty to cover, including the first patch to Battlefield 1. Woohoo! There was a Reddit post that sparked a discussion of YouTubers versus community input, and we'd like to thank user Kelly Katzaloli, I hope I'm saying that right, for bringing the discussion to light. We're also going to comment on some things said by Level Cap, some suggestions, and why we disagree or agree, depending on what the point is. So we'll go ahead and get right off into Level Cap stuff first. So what we're going to do here is we're going to name off certain topics that he posted about or talked about, and we'll kind of quickly go through whether we agree or disagree. So first off, we'll hit mortar changes. Do we think they need to be changed? Guys, what do you say?
I think so. I think they need a slight, I don't know, damage nerf, or maybe just, I don't know, change the speed that they reload and fire, maybe. I don't want them to be nerfed where they become useless. I don't want that to happen, but I think they need just to be evened out a little bit.
Well, didn't they say something about changing them in the manner that the faster you fire them, the less accurate they're going to be? Kind of like you have to wait for a second for it to dial in. If that's the direction that they go, I think that just about solves it.
That's fine.
Pretty sure that's what they did. Yeah.
Just to balance them out a little bit. I'm not, like I said.
Yeah,
I'm just scared
I don't get
they're
killed by
gonna
them a ton, but I can see them being a pain in the butt.
I've used them once, so I don't have a lot.
Yeah, I don't think they're prevalent enough in regular gameplay for me to really even comment on
Not
them.
yet,
I think
anyways.
that they're okay when I've used them, and I barely ever get killed by them.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, okay, we'll move on. The anti-air, he says it needs a nerf.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
He said that it needed a big change. I think it needs a limit in range at least, because I know I'm not a big pilot because I suck at flying planes. I usually crash in the mountains or the airship. But yeah, I think the range, people were saying that you can even be shot when you're at the flight ceiling. So the A needs a bit of a nerf in range, and I don't know about maybe splash damage a little bit, but overall I don't think they need a massive change. I don't want them to become useless either, but I think a slight change wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I agree. I think that range would be the way to go. I think damage is fine. It's supposed to be a very heavy countermeasure for aircraft. I mean, it's only one job. It has one job and it does it well.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it should be penalized for that. I think just the range should be toned back just a little bit. Maybe take it down from the flight ceiling. So if they go all the way up to get out, they'll be less effective, like bombers, for example. They'll be less effective if they're flying at the ceiling to stay out of AA range. If they want to come down and be more effective, then they're going to run the risk of AA.
Well, yeah, if they're going to take themselves out of the fight to repair, then they should be taking themselves out of the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
So I personally think they're fine, but I can definitely empathize and understand a range nerf. Like I'm not against a range nerf.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, then we're all pretty much on the same page. Yeah, I for the most part, I think we're saying is totally okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the fast repair, if left on a heavy tank, needs to do less repair or have a longer cooldown. I think I can definitely get behind this.
Well, Level Cap actually said that he wants it removed from the heavy tank.
Oh,
yeah, that
he can fuck himself.
I was a big light tank user in the beta. Man, I rolled shop on that when I got to play, and I loved it. They nerfed the piss out of it, and I'm disappointed about that. I switched now to the heavy tank, just the fact the thing can take so much fucking damage.
Yeah.
But your limit with your gun on the front, and that fast repair has saved my ass a few times. But I think if they're going to kind of balance it out to be even, then if they're going to leave it, just instead of doing like 30 or 35%, knock the percentage down, so at least you can get yourself out of a big battle and behind cover, and maybe get the old slow repair to work, or have a longer cooldown. Like I said, I don't want it removed, but just tweaked a little bit. I don't got a problem with.
Yeah, I wouldn't cry much about the longer cooldown. but I don't think it needs to be removed.
No, I don't either. I disagree with him on that point.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on that. I mean, I don't know. Part of me can see it because heavy tanks are. I mean, they're tough, especially if you get 3 or 4 cats in there that have their stuff together.
Yeah.
And you can already repair them from inside, and if you get.
But again, same with the AA. It has one job.
Yeah,
it's supposed to do that well. So I mean, a heavy tank is supposed to be able to absorb that kind of damage. So.
Yeah, I mean, I could. Yeah, I mean, I'm in line with you guys on that.
Okay. Our next point is the bayonet charge on the flame trooper. Should it be disrupted when the charging trooper is on fire? Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you guys think?
Like the point Level Cat made was one of his points on it was, it may be more related to PC gaming than console. He's saying if you're playing with a really high DPI, you can like really turn them around almost in a complete 90-degree, and while you're bayonet charging. I know on console, I don't know if you turn your sensitivity up, will that help? I don't know. Someone could comment. I play on a low sensitivity. But yeah, I mean, like if you're in a flame trooper and the guy starts bayonet charging, you like light him up. Like, there's no way he should be able to keep plowing through that.
Right.
So I think that I agree with him on that point. As for the other point he made on it, like I said, it doesn't affect me on consoles. So, but I believe the flame trooper should be able to drop the bayonet charger instantly.
Well, drop him from charging.
Well, yeah, I mean,
yes.
That's what I mean. Like, if the guy's running toward bayonet charging and you light him up, like, if you full-on smoke him, yeah, like, I mean, the dude should just be pretty much negated and drop dead. Like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. They shouldn't be able to charge through while they're on fire.
Not if you hit him with a full blast right off,
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Talking about
frag grenades need longer fuses.
Definitely.
Was that the turning with bayonet charges too?
Yes.
Yeah, I mentioned that was like I said, I think that's more related to
PC.
With mice.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit earlier. I think I play on about double the sensitivity of you guys, or something pretty close to that, and I've taken to removing bayonets from all of my weapons because
so did I.
I don't charge, and I feel like it makes me a little more accurate. It could just be placebo, but it's just me. But I didn't notice. I mean, it still turned pretty wide from what I remember. I don't think that's a problem for us.
Well, I took it off not necessarily for any type of increase in like accuracy or recoil or anything like that, but although there are claims that it does help with those things. I took it off because every time that I would be sprinting and then try to knife somebody, I would charge.
Yeah, I have that problem too.
Yeah, so I was like, no, fuck this noise. I'm just taking the bayonets off of everything.
Yeah, because
it's a nice little gimmick. It's kind of cool, but
cancel a sprint.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the point of frag grenades need longer fuses. So we're saying they should last longer before they explode?
Yeah,
yes,
I mean, that's
from
the
the
point.
time they impact.
Yeah. The point that he made is like when they land on the ground, you don't have time to get away from them. And I find that the second you get that indicator on your screen, there's a nade beside you, you got no time to get away from it.
Yeah,
the
you're
impact,
taking damage.
The impact grenades, like that's what they do. They blow up when they hit the ground. But the regular frag grenades, I find they go off too fast. Maybe it's me. Maybe that's Level Cap and me agree on something together. Fuck. I don't have a counterpoint. I don't have a counterpoint to that.
My counterpoint would be from experience. You don't get away from it, but if there's like tiered damage based on how close or far away you are. And I can normally sprint to where I'm only damaged 20, 30, 40% or so. So like if you're closer to it, it does more damage obviously. So I can normally get away to where it's not lethal.
I've had some that seemed like I shouldn't have killed me, but in the heat of the battle, you don't always know how much percentage of health you have at every point in time. So I've had a few seem like a pretty cheesy kill, but like I said, I a little bit long. I'm not looking for land and you can sit there and fucking comb your hair and get your fucking nails painted before you have to move. But like I don't know, I just like I said, it seemed quite a few times. I'm like, shit, the grenade's here, run, I'm dead, fuck. It's like, come on, like if I had that extra couple seconds, I might still be alive.
Yeah.
But you did skip the part about the behemoth.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did, true. Okay, well then we'll move from frags. We'll go back. Hang on, give me a second. I had some whiskey. So behemoth kill points need to be tweaked and distributed to players doing the damage. I 100% agree.
Yes.
And I feel like this is both a logical move and like statistically it should be very easy, and I don't understand why there would be any other option.
Yeah,
Well, you know what? You mentioned that earlier, and I just had a thought. What if the points you get for killing the behemoth are the points you get for damaging it? Like you get 20 per AA shot or whatever the hell it is. Like why does there have to be a chunk of points when it goes down? If
Like
you
a
do
final
1,000 damage to
bonus
the damn
amount
thing,
of
then
points?
you get 1,000 points or whatever.
So you're saying you only want the points rewarded like as you're doing the damage?
Well, no, I'm not saying that's what I want, but like, does there need to be a massive point bonus for killing it? I mean,
Well, I mean,
shouldn't
when
you
you-
want to kill
I
it
mean, I
anyway
kinda
that has
think
a
that
bunch of
there-
health?
when you destroy a tank, you get points for damage and you get points for
Vehicle
destroying it.
destroyed points.
Right. So Behemoth's the same way, but it's a big amount, 1,000 points. I mean, if you're the last guy to put the shot on it, you're gonna get the kills, which whatever, fine. But I mean, if I sat there and I pounded the thing into the ground and done 90% damage, and I ran out of fucking rocket grenades or rocket gun ammo or grenades to kill the tank because I had no support, one guy spawns in, throws a grenade down, and gets all the fucking points and all the kill. That's fucking pretty shitty.
Yeah. Well, is there, and I don't know, but this just occurred to me too, is there a behemoth kill assist?
Don't think so.
Is that a thing?
No.
Because if not, then I feel like that could kind of go in the direction of solving this problem.
Yeah.
For instance, kills, if you do above, 80 damage to somebody, right? And they get killed,
Yeah.
you get assist counts as kill.
Right.
Okay, well, why they could just implement something like that for the behemoth.
Right,
Like if you
but-
do so much damage to it, clearly you did the majority of the work. They should at least give you an assist for it, like assist counts as kill, or some type of points in the way of recognizing, like, hey, we saw that you did this much damage, so you're getting rewarded as well, not just the guy that got the last shot.
Yeah, that's fine. I got no problem with them. Like, they don't have to take all the points at the end and distribute them between all the 9 players or whatever that shot the behemoth or whatever. But I'm saying, like, if everybody got some points because they done, other than just your hit point damage that you get or the turret damage you get, like if you blow up a turret on a tank or on the train, you get like 100 points or something. So I mean, it's not that you just get those, but at the end, once it blows up, the main guy who done the last shot gets 1,000 and everyone else gets like 200 or whatever, based on, I mean, like, there's got to be a sliding scale maybe to give everyone and that way
What?
it'll just kind of promote someone to go, oh, I can get like 200 points if I sit here and waste all my heavy ammo on this bastard.
Yeah.
It promotes more team play, I think, if you're going to give points.
That's the kind of what I was driving at. I'm doing some Googling now, and I can't find any reliable information on like how many hit points a behemoth has. But let's say that it has, I don't know, 2,000 health. Like I don't feel like that's out of the realm of possibility.
Right.
I know I've fired an AA gun at one and racked up 600-700 points in damage points. Like, and if 5 or 6 people do that, then 5 or 6 people got 500 to 700 points. Like, I feel like that's enough.
Yeah, sounds about right.
If you want to kick a bonus in there for destroying a basket or taking out a turret or a motor or whatever, and you get the points if you kill somebody, like, I don't know. I don't even see the need for the big chunk at the end.
Well, what I do kind of, because I feel like they should be rewarded beyond taking out a giant enemy advantage. It usually requires a lot of teamwork, and as we've all discussed since the inception of this game, teamwork should be rewarded. This was a big thing about conquest points, and capturing, like the point of the game to play the objective. Is rewarded heavily. When a behemoth comes in, it should be a team effort, and you should be rewarded as such.
Well,
so,
devil's advocate, aren't you rewarded by not having to deal with a behemoth anymore?
Yes. But
so
I don't know.
Participation trophy players want some points.
Hey, I want
I don't
points
know.
for doing my job, not. I don't want them. Like I said, it's not fair for one person to roll at the end, throw one anti-tank grenade at the fucking train and get 1,000 points and 5 kills.
Here's my thing. If we get vehicle destroyed points for jeeps
Yep.
or stationary weapons or tanks or anything like that, then it's fair to assume that we should get vehicle destroy points for the behemoth, and it would be scaled upwards because it takes that much more to destroy it.
Right.
I think that's just logical with the game that we're in right now.
Yep.
So
How
I
would
do
you
think there
feel?
should be a batch of points at the end. So I think the easiest way to even it out would be a sliding scale, like Panther mentioned, of so-and-so did this percentage of damage to it. So out of the pot of, say, just for an example, 5,000 points, once it gets blown up, there's 5,000 points that are going to be distributed. If so-and-so did 30% of the damage, they get 30% of those 5,000 points. I think that would be the easiest way to do it. Whatever percentage you did, when it goes down, that's the amount of points you're awarded from the end pot of award points.
from the
I
work
can
you do.
actually simplify that even further. What do you get for a vehicle destroying a heavy tank? Like 200,
200, I think.
something like that. So what if we say everyone who does damage to a behemoth gets 400 points?
I disagree with
goes
that
down.
because what if somebody just hit it once versus the guy that dedicates himself to the AA and taking that thing out for 3 or 5
that guy
minutes?
who dedicates himself is going to get an ass load of damage points to go along with it, whereas the other guy's not going to get that.
I don't know. For arguing against participation trophies, you just did it right there.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not even drinking tonight either. I think we can all agree though that the person who lands the final blow getting the big 1,000 is not the way to go.
Right.
As it is now, there needs to be a change.
Well, what if they drop that down now, like the 500 points, and then spread that other 500 points against the people that done damage? There you go.
I could have. The only issue I have with a sliding scale is, I mean, we're talking about 32
just
potential
unfair.
people.
Right. But sliding scale is in the point of this person did X amount % damage to it, so that's
Yeah.
the % of the bonus they get. I mean, it's literally as fair as possible by saying if you put in this amount of work, that's the exact amount of reward you're going to get.
Yeah, it's like when you go to work,
Yeah.
you work 8 hours, you get 8 hours pay. If you do 6
don't
hours
know
work,
why
you get
I'm-
6 hours pay.
I don't know why I'm concerned. I always go like 9,000,000% at those damn things anyway. It's like a point of morality for me to take them out.
So we'll do the typical agree to disagree and move on. We'll do one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. I still don't understand how you
Fucking
disagree. But
behemoths.
whatever. We'll move on.
It's not that I disagree. I'm just offering up other options as
Hey,
well.
that's what we're all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, diversity on the battlefield.
You heard it here last. Okay, so gas nade nerf, only 1 per player, and hit detection of the gas needs to be refined. I don't necessarily agree with just 1 per player. I'm not going to argue for it, but I think that, like, with the amount of players that we have, even, like, doing 1 per player or 2 per player, I'm not necessarily going to say that there's going to be a huge difference because there's already gas all over the fucking place all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's already everywhere. So limiting to 1 per player or 2 per player, I mean, I still can say kind of objectively, I think that the battlefield is going to be covered in gas at all times like it is anyways.
But I mean, the
Yeah.
thing is, if someone can spawn in with 2 of them, like they do now, they have the advantage. They have 2. They throw 2 every time they turn around, right? If they have 1, they're gonna throw it. Then they don't have a fucking gas grenade to throw again. So 1 less per fucking player that's running around with gas grenade is a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue against it.
Right.
I still think that, like, most people that I've seen, most of them have gas.
Yeah, too many fucking people.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I've never thrown 1
I
gas
don't
grenade
either.
in my life.
I don't run it out of principle.
Yeah, I don't use gas.
I blanket the battlefield in fire.
Yes.
I'm either on impact or incendiary.
Yeah.
So the hit detection of the gas, I think we all agree. The hit detection, what we're talking about is in a building, if somebody throws a gas grenade on the top floor, if you're on the bottom floor, you can still be hurt and killed by the gas, but it doesn't show you any type of warning or anything like that. The only way that you can tell a gas is killing you is if the audio cue of your character coughing happens.
Yeah. Or if you happen to notice your health going down. So if you're already taking a little bit of
Yes.
damage, you're just going to get intensively run over and dead.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So,
Luckily, this is a dice
we all
game, so
agree.
the audio never glitches out or anything, so you can always hear it.
God, if only.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all agree.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Hit
absolutely.
detection's got to be fixed. Sure. Can I make a comment while we're on here about how I love that gas actually damages people inside of vehicles?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, moving on. Elite classes need to be removed in Team Deathmatch and Domination. I agree.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
That
Absolutely.
was easy. Okay. Tail gunners, nerf. It would be easier to use with mouse. I'm not quite sure what this.
That's my opinion on that.
Oh, that's your okay.
Like
so
he
you
says, the
already put that.
tail gunners need to be nerfed, and I disagree with him. I mean, maybe it's something because of the accuracy you have with the mouse. It's easier to line up the shots with the tail gunner when you're protecting your bomber. But I find that I'm fucking chasing the goddamn fucking thing all over the screen when I'm in the
Yeah,
back
dude.
seat.
I can't hit shit. If the plane goes into evasive
I do
maneuvers,
pretty
I
well.
just sit there until they stop.
I don't know. I've only used it a couple times as a tail gunner, but I've done fine with it.
I've been hit
Because they try to line you up. I mean, they're generally within, I would say, probably 30% of the screen. They're trying to get right behind you, so it's a pretty easy bubble, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I play on such a high sensitivity.
I don't know.
Yeah, that could do it.
It might be. Like I
I'll
said,
have to
yeah.
see if I can turn it back a little bit.
Yeah, like I said.
Well, either way, if the point here is that he's calling for a nerf,
I don't think so.
Yeah,
two out
I
of
feel
three
like
of
they
us
do
are
too much
saying that it's
damage.
too hard already.
Yeah, like I said, like he's talking about it's just too easy to take out planes. So I'm thinking, well, he plays on PC, so he's got the mouse keyboard. So maybe that's the advantage people have with a mouse over a controller. But some people on controllers play as well people with a mouse, so it could be more user based. But I don't think they need a nerf. I don't think they do.
Yeah, I don't either.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the last ones, we're getting towards the end of his list. The medic weapons need a buff, except for the cock dragon, ball slam, and Mondragon.
He said, yeah, that they're. He goes, I mean, you have to watch his video, but he goes and says something about the medic weapons are almost all useless. Well, except for a couple of them that I used, and the rest I couldn't care about. It's like, well, if they're all shit, then why do you use any of them? Like, you fucking contradicted himself a little bit, but I mean that happens, in level cap videos.
course it does.
I don't.
Well,
I don't think they need to be buffed. I think they're fine the way they are. I don't got a problem with them.
yeah, and if he's gonna say that all of them are bad except for a couple, you have to realize that in Battlefield 1, a couple is literally half or
half.
more of the weapons available. So you could almost make the argument that a couple being good is most of them.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
like,
he goes-
the Brigati and the Mondragon are fantastic, and I didn't use the Rank 10 one very much.
I
but
like the Slebstarter or whatever
I
it is.
get
I actually
killed with
prefer that.
all the time. I haven't
Is
used
that-
it yet. I get murdered by that like every fucking time I turn around.
That's my favorite medic.
Is that the Rank 10 one?
Nope.
No,
No.
Or is that the like the first fully auto one you can unlock with the magazine?
it's got like 27 shots in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. It's like a mid-rate
is
of
a good
fire.
one.
It's a
Yeah,
good gun.
it's
I
a
used it a
sli-
lot
you can-
until I got the
I prefer
Mondragon.
that to the cock dragon.
You can put
Oh,
that. That's when you
easy
can.
blasphemer. Easy.
That's
It's the bullet count that does it for me.
Yeah, this is true.
the other one you can put on full auto, but it's a slow firing full auto.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the full auto is as fast as you can tap your
Pretty
fingers
much,
on a
yeah.
wire.
Yeah, which is nice. I mean, it's controllable.
Yeah.
I mean, he went into greater detail on a couple other guns, and he talked about some of the assault weapons. I'm not going to go into a great big talk about all his fucking points, but it's just, he was trying to make in some points, and we kind of wrap it up at the end and kind of have, and if you read the post, it's going to be linked in the description that this is based off of the fellow, the Redditor that made the post has some really good points. I recommend anyone should give it a read if you haven't already.
Yep.
It's an
for sure.
excellent post.
Okay, so the revive nerf, a slight cooldown on like reviving, like the time it takes to revive somebody.
No, the amount of the time between reviving people. That's what he
Yeah,
said.
his
between
point
revives,
was
okay.
he was playing as a scout, and he said that there was a medic in a squad, and he was killing these dudes, like he was doming these dudes with his scout rifle. And as fast as he could kill them, the medic could bring them back. It was almost like he wasn't even stemming the tide at all. It was complete.
He
Like
should have killed the medic.
was neutralizing everything that he was doing.
That's exactly what my response was going to be: kill the fucking medic. What do you do?
Well, yeah, and that's
you're
the thing that I
fucking-
did. Like the medic is always the first priority,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
an engagement.
Well, and if Levelcock is going to be scope god and say that he's doming people left and right, no problem, then why can't he hit the fucking medic?
That was my point when I watched the video. It's like I'm shooting these guys, and every time I shoot them, they just keep getting revived. Well, you can't be revived. Like there's that space and time where if you get revived,
you can't be
and
double
die
revived like that.
within I don't know how much, 30 seconds or a minute and a half. I don't know what it is. I have to look it up. But there's a time.
Enough time.
Yeah. So you can't just be revived over and over. You can't just be revived and killed repeatedly like in Battlefield 3. But I mean, if you're gonna put a cooldown between needles, I could say maybe a slight one, but I can't even agree with that. Like he was talking for a cooldown. He was saying that you could get like 4 or 5 needles, and you have to either get resupplied or in your next life get 4 or 5 more. I'm thinking, fuck, people don't revive enough now. You know, like when people like run away from your
the
body,
last thing we need
like,
to do is put a barrier in between getting rezzed.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to say I slightly agree with a slight cooldown in the amount of time.
If they want to say like you have to wait an additional like half of a second, I could be on board with that, like begrudgingly.
Like if the needle draw out of the bottle had to be a little bit longer, like maybe. But even then,
I could see that.
I don't want to.
Well, and liken it to, I don't know if anyone's done a versus like on the time between like when you had to rub the paddles in Battlefield 4 for the full revive. Somebody should probably compare the time it takes to fully get a revive in Battlefield 4 versus the time it takes to
be a lot
stab the
longer
syringe.
in Battlefield 4.
Yeah. So I mean, if they nerf
like
the time a little bit,
time on this syringe?
No, you can just pound it. If you have 8 guys in a row, you can just walk
immediate.
up. Yeah, you can walk up behind
and
them.
I could almost see that if there was some sort of animation where you had to hold it for 3/4 of a second to do 100%.
Well, if that meant
revive,
that you were like depressing the
something like
syringe to pull out whatever magic juice is in there, then that would make sense.
Heroin.
Sure.
Right.
It's heroin.
But I right, D50. I definitely am not on board with a limit the amount of revives per life for having to resupply. That's just ridiculous. I mean, at the end of the day, you need to kill your medic. That's just
because if you only get 4 or 5, then you know for fucking sure that you're not going to be reviving any blue icons in the fucking screen. There's only be green ones.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
that's true.
So
that's absolute. That takes away from.
And before
play.
and before pre-patch, the LMGs were shit. Who fucking plays support? Hardly anybody. You never see a fucking ammo crate
and
anywhere.
if you're gonna go down the route of limiting the number of revives you can do, then you'd have to cross-class the rule and say that you can only drop 2 ammo boxes.
Exactly.
You know, and
2 med bags.
the same route of there. Fuck that
2
noise. Are you
med
fucking
bags
kidding me?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
So there's something.
We're not getting into territory of Arma and doing military sim and how you've only got like so many bullets to resupply, and then you've got to write a letter home to have them send you money so you can buy your own bullets because the army doesn't provide them.
You have to send a pigeon.
This
Pigeon
is
back to the
bullshit.
factory. Need more bullets like a Chick-fil-A note. Bullets for me. Send.
That's it.
Oh man.
That's next. That's the
So
DLC.
no, he can give himself a reach around all day on that one. There's no way there's any logic to that.
Dong Lord.
Dong Lord, yes, exactly. Fucking he can have the cock dragon on that one. The next one is spawning needs to be fixed. For example, spawning on dead teammates. Absolutely, this is a problem.
And like I said, I mean, like he was talking about, like it needs to be, changed. To me, it's a bug. It needs to be fixed. Like spawning on dead teammates and spawning in fire. It still happens. I mean, that happened to me. I spawned and was instantly murdered by a guy with a fucking LMG posted up. So he wasn't just laying down and posted the gun up as I spawned. He was already killing the guy I was spawning on, and I didn't get that little warning, right? So yeah, I mean, it's a bug for sure. It's definitely not a design choice. At least I hope
fucking
not.
Tanks. God, the amount of times I've spawned in and been immediately shit on by a heavy tank is just way too high.
Run over.
Well, is there a time period of immortality when you spawn?
No,
I don't think so.
None.
It doesn't feel like it.
And I'm glad there's not, because that was a fucking problem. You're shooting somebody, someone spawned, and there was a bullet fucking spawned, and you couldn't kill the person you were initially shooting. So
yes, but I think that if you fix the spawning on people in fire and spawning on dead teammates, if you fix that part of it, then the spawn immortality makes more sense, because you don't want to get killed right away, but you shouldn't be able to spawn on a situation that you would be killed right away. So
exactly.
it would be balanced enough.
Right. I understand. but still.
Yeah.
That was a big change in Battlefield 3 when you spawned with that fucking immortality
It
for
was,
2.5 seconds.
Yes.
Fucking
Well, especially
crazy.
on a linear map like Metro or something, where you're oftentimes shooting someone in the back.
Yep. And then
Yep.
someone spawns and you're shooting the fucking bullet sponge.
Yeah, you know, when you're back laying behind their spawn, shooting them like the Colonel. I'm
Capping their
behind
base.
enemy lines. How far? All the way.
Capping their base.
Yeah.
Shit. So,
So he also mentions medals and battle packs. We've covered those, and we don't like either one of them.
No.
Both systems are stupid.
yep.
They added all of squad XP boosts to battle packs, though,
Yay.
in
Yay.
the update.
Yeah.
I mean, yay, kind of. I would more be... I figured logically that there would be a progression from single, like, my person having an XP boost, like, for me, and then a squad. Like, that would be the logical thing for me. Like, instead of my whole squad at once, like, I figured I would get personal XP boosts first.
Right.
So I'm a little curious and confused as to why it went to the blanket of the whole squad first.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's nice. I'm not going to complain about it, but it's just like, where's my personal XP boost, bro?
But you know, for a fact, people that are will scrap them for their fucking weapon skins,
Yeah.
or people are going to be like, all right, then they're only going to use them whenever, all their friends are in a squad. They're not going to chuck them on for everybody else, like that they don't know. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to complain
No.
about squad XP boost. I like it. I think XP boost should have been in battle packs from the get-go. It was pretty silly of them to not include that.
I think they're stupid. I think the whole progression system is stupid. It's pointless. Everything is pointless.
Well,
I'm going to go
it's-
cut myself now.
when you say progression system, you really mean lack of progression system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bizarro statement. Sorry, I wasn't more clear.
well, we kind of went over that. I mean, even Level Cap kind of went over some of
Yeah.
those things in his too. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just really surprised because it was a big critique from Battlefront, and it stayed the same.
Yeah.
We have
They were
very,
like,
very
we heard
few
you didn't
things
like
as far as
progression.
options. Yeah,
So we took your lack of progression and put more lack of progression on top of it.
exactly. Yep.
We got to move on from that, though. This dead horse in here is starting to smell bad.
All right. All right. So vehicle spawn options. Trying to choose a loadout and you lose the tank or plane, whatever vehicle you're trying to do. This is also a thing that should have been fixed from the get-go. This shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
We should have been able to change soldier loadouts and vehicle spawn, or vehicle loadouts also. I'm sure that's what you mean by spawn options.
no,
right?
whenever you're in the game, and you see a tank's available, and you click on it.
Uh-huh.
Well, you have to change your loadout. So you're in the screen to say if you want to change from, say, the howitzer to.
Yes.
If you're picking that, someone could just spawn in the fucking tank and go, and you don't get it.
Yeah, that's silly.
There's got to be a way that you choose the
Well, it
tank.
should just
and
reserve it. It should act. It
Yeah.
should take it off the spawn screen as an option
Until you choose
for
your
someone
loadout.
else if you've got it.
Right.
Either that or make spawning into a vehicle a two-step process. Like you push X to spawn on it, and then it goes, all right, which version? You don't get to change the loadout, but do you want the attack plane, the bomber, or whatever? You hit X again, and you're in the game.
Yeah.
No, but like it's
That'll work.
Well, I mean, like if you don't have your tank loadout set up before you get in the game, though, you can't change it.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying.
No,
that
what he's saying is you hit X to pick a plane
Right.
or a tank or whatever. Hit X, and that takes it off the spawn screen, and you're now in the menu of, okay, what kind of tank or plane do you want?
Right.
And you pick your loadout from there.
But then
it's already yours now.
Right, so you get to pick, like, in other words, you pick the heavy tank, you get to pick it with whatever options of loadout
Yeah.
you want on after that.
Right.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yes.
I thought you meant you
Like
only get to choose what type of vehicle, not the customizations of
Well,
it
I
after
mean,
that.
and like super devil's advocate, if they really wanted to push people into using the companion app, make it so you set your loadouts ahead of time on that, and then do it that way. But
Yeah,
you know,
but every
whatever.
every map's different, and every situation's different.
Yeah. No, I'm with
So-
you. Yeah, I like that idea.
Picking it,
You know what I just realized? I'm getting ready to sound really fucking stupid, but I just realized something, I think. And I might be wrong on this, but every time I spawn into a land ship on like Monte Grappa, it's the fucking mortar one. Can I change that?
Yeah, that's how you change. That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah,
so
I
when you-
just
when
we
you
were talking.
click
I was
it,
like,
you have to
holy
go-
shit! I'm pretty sure I don't have to be doing that. Like I've been beating myself up with a shit.
You can change. Yeah, you can.
Fuck it. Let's
Oh
let's
my
just
God.
move on.
We never said we were
Suppression
pros,
notification. He said
folks.
something
Yeah.
about suppression. Let's just suppress that statement. Shit.
Well,
Face.
there goes our credibility.
Oh, shit. Well, his anyways. Ours.
All right, well, moving on. Let's quickly change the subject now that they're onto us.
Fuck.
Suppression notifications. It's hard to tell when you're suppressed currently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
what he
was
was.
his argument.
Yeah, he was saying that if you're sniping, all of a sudden his bullets are like way off. Well, don't snipe. There you go. That's fucking problem solved.
No, I have to say I have to disagree.
I-
There is no notification like as far as a text or icon or anything, but I absolutely notice because my screen is shaking all over the fucking place.
Yeah, I've gotten some. I don't know. Like, if I usually get killed before I get suppressed. I'm usually fucking dead, going, "I need a medic!" I'm
Right.
screaming for a medic.
Your
And
life is suppressed, not
and
your
it-
abilities.
Exactly. And then I'm fucking screaming because the medic's running the wrong fucking way. That's my game. That's how I play.
Yeah, I remember. Was it Battlefield 3 or 4 that they added suppression? It was
4.
3, wasn't it?
There was a bit in 3 maybe, but 4 had the fucking blurry screen. Remember, it was fucking
Yeah,
horrible.
they
I
emphasized
remember when
it
we went
before.
from not having that to having that, and in this game I experience it, but I experience it to a much lesser degree and much less often.
Yeah, it's been scaled back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with the suppression right now. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like so one half dozen of the other. They're either gonna not change it and the people will be pissed, or they will change it and everyone else will be fucking pissed. I think if they're gonna change it, it's gonna be slight fucking adjustment to try to
Right.
appease everybody, but that'll never happen with 18 million people playing the game.
I think with everything going on in the game at any given time, I think that suppression is a good mechanic, but it certainly doesn't need to be overpowering.
No, I agree.
And
No,
any
yeah.
change that he's calling for, I think, is going to be in the method of like
Battlefield
increasing.
4.
Yeah, it's going to be increasing and bringing us back towards Battlefield 4, which I don't think is necessary at all. I think that suppression is fine. I certainly notice it. Like I said, my screen blurs. I know I'm getting shot at because there's the audio cue of bullets going around me, and if I try to put fire on someone, it's really shaky. So
Right.
like, I don't know, other than like, hey idiot, take cover. Like, what else do you need on the screen
Yep.
Soldier
or
gets a
in
text
your
message.
headphones?
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
And
Oh,
Morse
shit.
code, Morse code tapping on the side of your helmet.
Pigeon brings in a message. You're being
Get the fuck
suppressed.
down, yo.
I'm out of here.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So that was the last of his points that we had picked out. Overall thoughts, I think I can sum up the both of you guys. I know you had blurbs here, but basically we agreed on some points. We didn't agree on some points. We didn't go over all of them, but a lot of people, are having similar thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said,
But-
read the post on Reddit and
Yeah.
read the comments from everybody. A lot of those, I mean, you can watch Level Cap video. I'm not going to tell you to. I mean, you can if you want. That's your own choice. But I
you wanna
mean,
be a
he
dick,
covers
go
a
for
lot
it.
of the bugs and the balancing. So I mean, it's like I said, I was surprised I agreed with as much as I did. But like I said, a lot of them are obvious to me. So
Yeah. All right. So then we'll move on. That covers all of the level cap points that we decided to pull from him. So we'll move on now to the actual patch notes, and holy shit, there are a lot of them.
fuck.
So what we've done is try to condense what we felt were some of the more important
Well,
ones.
not even. Like, there's a lot we didn't even. To review is a lot. The links are going to be for the patch notes if you already haven't read them. If you live under a rock. But I mean, like realistic. If we wanted to cover patch notes, this would be part 1 of 97
Yeah.
of hour-long podcast.
There's that much.
Yeah, there's crazy stuff like fixed an issue where if the moon was full on a Saturday afternoon and you had a Mondragon equipped, your unicorn horn sparkled the wrong way. There's all kinds of wild shit in there.
How about the one if you have your boots laced all the way up that your fucking gun didn't fire? How about that one?
That's
That's a
crazy.
problem.
Yeah, but if you put a double knot in your laces, you were good to go. It's really, really
Yeah.
strange stuff.
God.
Very, very case specific.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff in the patch notes. A lot of really good things, and I'm glad they addressed so much. So again, you can go to the Battlefield website and see the patch notes in full.
The link is also going to be in the description.
We will also have the link in the
Bitches.
description. So some of the ones that we picked out is that you can customize your soldier from within the UI by selecting either the icon on home or on soldier. And thank fuck, it's finally here.
Yeah.
Finally.
It only took 3 iterations of the goddamn game.
Thanks for moving the final game closer to 100%, Dice.
We're at
It's a little bit closer to a
We're
complete
in the
game.
high 80s.
No, I was going to say 64%. So I was figuring.
Oh.
Ooh,
That
Jesus.
Damn.
Panther with the full bottle assault tonight.
Well, the other 36 would be weapons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Literally,
All right,
like,
I'm
that's
with
the
you.
number
I hear
of
you.
guns per class that need to be added.
No, I
No.
I have a really big problem with this, and it seems to be really, honestly, like just us. It seems like, because when I post on Reddit about this, or when I comment on something about people talking about war bonds or whatever, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Because I have like 4,000 surplus war bonds. And they're like, oh, well, up until level 70, it keeps giving you war bonds, but it stops at 70 because at that point you have enough to buy every item in the game that exists. And I'm like, yeah, but why would I want to do that? Like, I'm not going to use every item in the game,
Yeah,
so I'm
what's the
buying them
point?
just because. Like, it's a fluffed market. They've expanded it with meaningless options. You know, instead of showing us only 4 weapons for each class, they show us 12. But each weapon has 2 other iterations from its standard one, and it's really just adding a scope.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a new weapon, but that's what you're paying for.
The only way they're gonna make me buy those is if they put some sort of like new icon on the screen, and the only way I can make the icon go away is by buying it, because I'm that guy.
Well, the thing is, too, some
Like,
people
all these arrows have to go away.
some people buy those because of the fact that they like to try different stuff and have all the options available. So I got no problem
Sure.
if you want to. There's just no, in my opinion, the same as yours. I don't think there's a need to. I'll probably end up eventually buying everything, but I'm not.
My thing is just that there's not enough meat to it. There's not enough substance to it. It looks, when you open it up, like there's a list, and you're like, okay, I've got some stuff to work towards. But it ends up being like the weapons feel the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's just an optic enhancement for the 2 different levels.
I agree.
The
And
weapon
if
still
they
fires
felt-
and performs the same.
Yeah, and if they felt substantially different, I would be okay with where
Yes.
we're at. But they don't. You're right. They just don't.
They feel the same. It's just an optical difference. So for me, they fluff it to make it look like there's substance to it, but there's not. So if they actually showed you, kind of like they did in Battlefront, which is a huge mistake, that there was only 4 or 5 different weapons that you could do, and there's no way that you can change how they perform. Like that's what this game is. They just make it look a little more expansive, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4 levels. But I linked pre-podcast. We were talking on TeamSpeak, and I linked a Wikipedia page of weapons used in World War I by country, and there's literally hundreds of them.
Sure.
Now, not to say that they all perform differently, of course not, but you could pick out 10 weapons for each class.
Well,
And then, do your optic changes, under customize. Like when you hit triangle to customize, you can change your recoil. For some reason, you can change the direction of the recoil without adding or subtracting or even like any type of change to any part of the weapon. You just magically change the recoil.
You don't even have to spend war bombs.
But you don't do anything to it. Like,
Yeah.
what did you do to the weapon to change the recoil?
You
That doesn't
beat
even
it on
make
a rock.
sense.
You beat it
What?
on a rock. You
Just damage the barrel, like
soaked it in-
bend it in on the
you
inside this
soaked
way.
it
a
in
little
water, then you beat it on a rock, and then had a horse kick it. That's how you change the fucking recoil. Come on, you know that.
It's just silly, the lack of options that we have, and like I said, I post in Reddit in comments and stuff like that to people, and get downvoted into oblivion by saying that we don't have enough options. Like it's astounding to me that in a class there are more secondary weapons than there are primary weapons. There's more melee weapons than there are primary weapons. That's absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they called primary if it's the smallest amount to choose from? That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's
So
not absurd. It's Battlefield 1.
But I mean, like, there's the DLC is going to bring more guns. I mean, I think that's kind of what they decided on.
Well-
and it was a mistake. I mean, I'm not agreeing. I'm not agreeing with
Yeah.
them. You know, don't get me wrong, but You know, I mean, I think that's was their ideas. We'll give this amount of guns, and then we'll give all these guns for DLC. And every time you get DLC, it's not going to be 1 or 2 guns. It's going to be a bigger handful. So I'm hoping
that would be okay with me, to a certain extent. I'd be okay with them expanding the weapons with the DLCs if it wasn't so far away.
I agree. And like I said,
Yeah.
I'm you know, like I'm not in a disagreement with you on it. But I mean, like earlier, this is getting into the dead horse territory for us.
Yeah, I know.
So it's
But by the time that the DLC rolls out and they give us maybe at best, like at absolute best, we're going to get 2 weapons per class.
per class. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
And that's going to
with
put us
with
to
the DLC.
almost where we should have been on launch.
Yep. I agree.
But here's the thing, and this is the last point I'll make on it. The last thing that I'll hit the
No,
horse
it's not.
with
Don't fucking
is that with this particular subject.
lie. Tonight.
With this subject.
Tonight.
That's the caveat. Yeah, tonight. So by the time March comes around and we get at most 2 weapons per class added, we're already gonna be knee deep in war bonds. Like we've already leveled up so much. Our class kits are all going to be leveled up already. So what the hell are we going to have to do to unlock these things? Hopefully not medal challenges or something similar.
You shouldn't have
If it's
said
just
that.
going to be unlocked with war bonds or kit ranks, we're already going to have those things. So it's an instant unlock. So again, no progression.
Maybe they're going to do assignments.
I'm already having nightmares like step 1, kill 5 horses from the tail gunner position of an attack plane. It's like
Destroy
kill 3 soldiers by dropping dynamite off of the top of an airship. Like
destroy
terrible.
the train with a 1911 only.
Yo, the 1911 is savage.
Capture the enemy's spawn.
Survive.
Play 3
So-
flags Suez Canal and don't lose.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, the point is that, again, a lack of progression is a real problem. It's a real flaw in design because by the time that the DLC rolls out, everyone's going to be leveled up and have an insane amount of war bonds unless they buy everything in the game for no reason. So we're going to have the war bonds already to buy the weapons. So there's no progression. There's no waiting there. We're already going to have our different kit ranks already leveled up because we put so many hours in the game, for almost 5 months before anything is added to it.
Yeah.
So our kits and our base soldier level and our war bonds are all going to be pretty much max. So again, where's the progression? How are we going to work towards these
I
things?
don't know.
Bullshit challenges? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's a flaw in design. It's bad.
Yo, are we still talking about the first patch note, Todd?
We never, we
Okay.
need to get going.
I'm done. Rant over. Light machine guns were given various forms of adjustments to make them more viable mid-range weapons.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Maybe some more support players.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Good for support players. Change damage multipliers for buckshot to be more consistent. This will eliminate some unintentionally high and unintentionally low damage hits. So I feel like they just moved the multiplier closer to 1.0 on either end of the scale. So it'll feel less weak at times and it'll feel less strong at other times. So it's just now more of a muddling middle ground for buckshot.
I guess I've got like 5 minutes of assault. Never fired a shotgun in the game. I got no comment here.
You're missing out. I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna put some thoughts into probably the next podcast on it and see how the patch affected it because I've used the shotguns quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I have not used it post patch yet.
Yeah, we know you have 4.
I was gonna do the same thing.
Don't hate.
Yeah.
Don't hate. Limpet mines are now indestructible until they detonate.
Yes.
Score.
Yes, very good.
They're a timed
Yes, very good.
explosive and should be acting as such.
Yep.
Good change.
Agreed. Increased number of magazines for gas and incendiary tripwire bombs to 2. I'm not in favor of this change, actually. I think all tripwire bombs should be 1.
Yes.
I'm neither here nor there because I haven't really, knock on wood, I haven't really run into tripwires at all. I don't think they're widely used, but yeah, I don't.
Not widely, but they're certainly used.
Yeah, I don't think they need to be increasing that type of stuff. I think they could have left it. I don't think anyone was complaining that I heard.
No.
Yeah,
not
because
really.
I was in a tower yesterday with Seawolf and Moosox, or one of those guys is the 3 of us, and I was support. Those 2 were scout. and between the two of them, they were putting down
So you lost
their
the game.
tripwire things, and yeah, well, of course we lost because we all suck. But like, our tower was impenetrable. It was between the two of them and me dropping ammo. No one could get up any of the ladders with their tripwire bombs in place, and they only had one each. So I can only imagine if we had 4 that we could put out, it would just be crazy.
Yeah,
I don't see the need for that.
No.
But whatever, like, it's in the patch now.
Yeah.
Oprah,
But we
you
all
get a
disagree
tripwire,
with
you
it.
get a
That's where we stand.
tripwire. Everybody gets a motherfucking tripwire.
Yep.
Yeah, but
So the big one that most people have been complaining about, including us, the quit game option has now been added and sustained throughout the end game screen.
Hell,
Fucking
motherfucking yeah.
but if you read the posts on Reddit, people are bitching
yeah.
about it.
Apparently, it's a placebo quit button. It doesn't actually work.
Yeah, I mean, the people were saying that it's easier to use Alta 4 on PC. And
Yeah.
and there was a video
That's
posted.
the nuclear option.
And there was a video posted on Reddit. I can't remember which sub it was about the quit option on PS4. They quit, and the fucking game just sat there, black screen, server disconnected.
Yep.
I haven't played since the patch, so other than going into the UI and playing around with the Soldier customization screen to see how it worked, that's all I have time for. I mean, I haven't been busy as fucking work,
Yeah.
so. But yeah, I mean,
Well, the patch just dropped.
Yeah.
So.
I've had, even on the old quit system, I've had it where I quit and it went to a black screen and just spun for like
Yeah,
5
yeah.
minutes, and I
Yeah,
ended up
that-
having to close the application. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, then I done it to me too. So
They're trying their best to keep us in the game. That's
exactly. It's like Vegas.
it. Exactly. Just don't ever quit. I mean,
keep
obviously,
giving him free
guys.
drinks. Cop him a room if you have to, but don't let him leave.
So at least it's a good start, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
If it's not fully working now, it's nice at least that it's kind of there.
And if it needs to be tweaked, they'll take care of it. It's nice.
That's one of those features where we hear you,
Oh.
we're still working on it. We just, we put what we had figured out so far in there.
No,
You guys
what
wanted
they
a quit
said
button,
is
so there it is.
We hear that it's a problem, and what we'll do is we'll fix it halfway.
Yeah.
We'll give you good faith progress in exchange for patience,
Yeah.
please.
This is a proof of life that we've heard your calls. But we're not going to fully fix it. Anyways, all right, so we'll move on. Both support mortars can now fire 2 smoke rounds in addition to their default round count. A hint has been added to explain the feature.
I don't got a problem.
I'm neither here nor there on it.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't care. Whatever.
I don't care.
Smoke them if you got them, I guess.
Fucking mortars. Yeah, right, the smoking lamp is officially
Smoke
lit,
'em.
apparently.
Fuck, that was just smooth as shit. man.
I try. I didn't.
How long have you been sitting on that?
I wasn't. I wasn't sitting on
Oh,
anything.
bullshit.
I wasn't.
He has a whole separate document that he hasn't shared
Bro, we
with
know
us.
you. You're not that
And
funny.
he's
Come
got
on.
his
Hey, fuck
one-liners
you.
typed in, then we can't see them.
Fuck you. Watch my YouTube videos. You know I'm hilarious.
It's like that
Oh, yeah.
episode
That-
of The League where Jay
was
Glazer
really
was
good.
feeding the dude one-liners through an earpiece.
That was really
Shout out to the
awesome.
league.
You got him. Oh, okay. Next point is the rifle grenade frag round. This one, actually, we've got a big problem on this. They decreased the time until explosion after collision from 1.1 seconds to 0.7 seconds. So now the rifle grenade frag round acts more like an impact grenade frag.
Yeah. No.
That's not good.
No.
I don't like it.
No.
I think the frag should be the exact same as the frag rifle grenade should be the exact same as a frag grenade and should be held to the same.
Unless
Same
they're
time.
gonna limit the amount of damage it does, which now I think it does fuck all damage anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
Yeah,
a bad,
that second
that was a bad
line where it
change.
says that they added a minimum time of 1 second before it can explode after firing, is that
So you can't.
essentially adding
yourself
a
up.
minimum travel distance?
Yeah.
Yes, in a way.
Huh.
Yeah, so if you fire it at the ground, I think the 1 second will override and stack onto the 0.7 now.
Yeah.
So if you fire it like in the corner of a building, you have like that 1.7 seconds to get the fuck out.
Well, that's going to be of air travel because after it collides,
Oh, yeah,
it goes
that's
to
right.
0.7.
Yeah. So there you go. So if you fire it into the ground in the corner of a
Well,
building,
here's what the Mythbusters need to figure out is if you fire at the ground, you have less than a 1 second travel time.
Yo,
so
defend the house.
does the collision
check that out.
Yeah. Does the collision timer of 0.7 seconds override the minimum time before it can explode after firing?
Or does it just lay there eternally?
No. Schrodinger's grenade.
How long have you been on that one, Baker?
I don't know. I'll never tell. So they also reduced the collision speed multiplier from 0.15 to 0.112 to make it bounce a bit less. I never really even noticed this was a thing or knew it was a thing, but apparently it's a problem.
0.3 of a second, is that fucking, like, I mean, really?
No, 0.03 of a second.
0.03 of a second is a fuck. Whatever. Moving on.
Whatever.
Damn it, Dice.
Damn it. The next one is the rifle grenade high explosive. They reduced the blast radius from 7 meters to 6 meters and increased the minimum time before explosion after firing from 0.3 seconds to 0.75 seconds. That's actually
That's
pretty
a pretty
decent
significant
change.
increase, yeah.
Yes. That's much more than 0.03.
Right.
Yes.
So minimum time before explosion after firing. The wording is kind of weird to me. I don't know about you guys,
Yeah,
but this
seems like a kind of an odd way to word it for sure. But the
after you fire it.
Yeah.
This doesn't have an air timer then, I guess.
So I mean,
after you fire it, it just waits to explode.
Yeah, that's kind of an odd way to do it. Just, like I said, I haven't used rifle grenades enough to know what the difference on all this stuff is. I never used them before. Haven't used them since, so I don't really have anything to say against them.
I think how I'm understanding this is the HE rifle grenade acts more of like an impact grenade. Would that be the explanation here?
Could be. I don't know.
Maybe it does
use
more.
them.
Maybe it does more damage against armor. Someone in the comments could fucking let us know. It'd be great. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't used
fucking
them,
dice.
All right, so then we're on to operations changes. And I'll just read through these. We don't really have to comment until the end of it. We can just say agree or disagree. Yep. So 64-player operations, they increased the attacker maximum tickets from 150 to 250. They increased the amount of tickets regained from killing retreating defenders after capturing a sector from 2 to 3. They increased the amount of minimum ticket regained when capturing a sector in 64-player operations from 30 to 50, and slightly reduced the time it takes to capture flags. I think these are all good changes. What do you guys say?
I agree. I mean, I haven't got a ton of time in operations. I'm hoping to get a lot more. But yeah, those changes are definitely going to balance it out and hopefully get more people playing and staying in games.
Yep. Work, what about you?
Currently, my opinion is fuck operations.
What?
Because I don't like it.
Operations is great.
Yeah.
What
Well,
do you mean?
every time I play it, I have a horrible, just die experience. But I will try it again with these changes to see if it
you're
changes.
Bad. It's not the mode.
No.
How's that mortar land ship treating you?
Yeah, that's right. Fucking Canadian.
It's never gonna go away now.
Yeah, well, I'll try it out. I don't know if I've just been on bad squads or whatever.
I've had a lot of those
I've
too.
not had good fun playing it.
Hey, with Battlefest to get that one weapon skin, you got to win one round of operation.
Oh,
who gives a shit?
shit. Yeah, who gives a fuck?
All right, moving on. 40-player operations. They basically did the exact same changes. They increased the attacker maximum tickets to 200. It used to be 150. They increased the amount of tickets regained from killing retreating defenders after capturing a sector from 2 to 3, and slightly reduced the time it takes to capture flags. So just about identical changes.
Did they do anything with the behemoths, or was this all the changes?
Nope. That's
all
it.
listed.
See, because
that's all.
And that's if I'm on the defending team, which is I seem to remember being most of the time when I play operations, we will prevent them from capturing the first sector, and then they'll get an airship and just fucking shit on us.
Well, I have a video where we got the airship and the fucking thing stayed right off the edge of the map, and if you spawned on it, it killed you. So it was no fucking advantage to us.
Yeah.
So they need to nerf their fucking cannibal fucking airship.
Right. Out of bounds needs a nerf. Out of bounds is OP.
Yep.
All right, so moving on, they made some changes to Conquest also, in particular Suez. And I feel like this is, a backhanded, like, here, we're going to fix it, but fuck you anyways. They added 2 additional flags onto Suez, which is what we asked for. However, they extended the straight line of Suez.
Well, funny thing is that in the last podcast, we said they need to add 2 more flags.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean, but, like, they just continued the problem of it being a straight line. That's the issue.
I haven't.
Like,
yeah, I agree, and I haven't played the new map. I was reading on Reddit today that there's mixed. People saying, "Hey, it's a lot better." There's some lot of more localized fighting, a couple other flags, and you know, I mean, there's still not the great flanking routes because there's not enough cover to flank. But you know, people are liking it and people are hating it, so it's typical fucking patch of dice. I mean, not everybody's happy. I think it'd be better tweaks.
I don't understand the logic of, like, okay, the problem we're having with this map, guys, like, if I'm the DICE, you know, head of map design, and I'm like, well, it's a straight line right now. People are having a real hard time because they're getting spawn raped because it's a straight line and there's no flanking route. So how do we fix this? Well, let's just add more to the line. No.
And you know what's really
like,
funny?
Put something on a side.
I bet you if you overlay the 2 maps, Operation Metro and Suez were virtually identical, with the exception that you had covered flanking routes on Operation Metro, and nobody bitched about that being like a straight line linear map.
Yeah, it's true.
So they took like all of the good things about Metro and just stripped them away and left us with like this flaccid cock of a map. It's just terrible. But I don't know. Having said that, I have not played the new one. I've read mixed
reviews. I haven't
reviews.
either, but unless they extended the amount of area you could go out into the desert, like, I don't see it as being much of a change, or at least not the change that we need.
No, I don't
well,
think so
even
either.
then, I mean, if there's no cover out there, you know, it's just going to be Scout City. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. They should have put the 2, if they were going to add them, parallel to the other ones, but like out into the dunes. Like, keep them away from the behemoth that shows up. That's fine, because you don't need any more along the line. I like that they reduced the capture size, which is one of the other points there of the flags. But put the 2, if you imagine a straight line, make a parallel line to it and put them out there. That automatically creates 5 points of contention, 3 of which are on one side, 2 of which are on the other. So the routes in between and around and everything expands entirely and creates more of a rounded map instead of a straight line, and that just solves it right there. That's it.
Yeah,
fixes the problem.
Somebody mentioned, talking about the reduced size of the capture volume, somebody was saying earlier that, I think it was you, Baker, that actually might make it more difficult to capture the flags.
And that's my guess right now. So what they did is they reduced the amount of building interiors located within the capture area of the A and B flag. And they said that the change should result in flags being easier to capture. And what I was talking about pre-podcast was that, in fact, logically, I think it does the opposite. Because if you say that the cap area is free of any type of cover, if it's basically an open area around the flag, and you have to stand in the open area with no cover in order to capture, that means that everybody in the buildings surrounding it are able to fire into the open area and kill you and stop you from capping. So basically, you can just camp it and wait outside of the flag cap point for somebody to go in and try to get it.
And more importantly, if you're capping the flag, you won't see the red bar up there that notifies you that there's an enemy in the area.
Yeah.
Like I said, we don't see the flag flashing, so they're going to know that you're there, but you may not necessarily know that they're there.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think the capture points really need to be changed. I think adding the flags is a good start, but I think they put them in the wrong spots.
Yeah. Agreed. So I don't know from experience. Yeah, but like I said, logically, like, following how gameplay actually works with what they've done, I imagine it actually would be harder to capture the flag, but we'll see.
For sure.
They added the customize your soldier to the UI by selecting the icon on home or soldier. Did I already say?
We covered that already.
Yeah, why is it here again? Yeah. We're looking at our notes here and we've doubled up.
Oh well.
I don't know why. So we'll skip that. We already talked about it. Squad leader mutiny. This is something that we definitely asked for.
Thank you.
Yes. So if a squad leader ignores requests for orders, the leadership is transferred to another member of the squad. And how that works is a squad member will request an order if there's no active order. The requesting player is added to like a wannabe leader queue for that squad, and a 60-second timer starts. And when the 60 seconds pass, the first member in the squad queue, the one that requested earliest, like chronologically, is promoted as the squad leader. So if there are other members in the queue after him, the timer automatically resets to 60 seconds, and if the new leader doesn't give orders over that time period either, then the next person waiting in line is promoted, and so on, until somebody starts actually setting orders and doing their job. But if somebody requests an order and that timer starts, if the current squad leader issues an order, then the queue for the squad is cleared because he's doing his job and doesn't need to be replaced.
That's fine.
I love it.
I'm happy.
It's great. It makes
I
sense. It's logical.
I have one caveat.
Uh-oh.
Jesus.
No,
You would be that guy.
and
Right?
it's not
Raining on
mentioned.
the fucking parade.
One, no, I'm not raining. I'm just bringing up something that I haven't heard anyone say yet. You
Penis.
can't issue orders if you're dead, correct?
Right.
Correct.
Sure.
Does that 60-second timer count while I am
I'm
not
sure it does.
alive?
Yeah, I'm saying it
Yes.
does.
Because
But
Yes.
if you have
I
a
So what
take
happens
15
is
or 20
somebody's gonna take a
seconds
piss
and then I
break.
spawn on somebody and they're in the shit, and I'm trying to help them out rather than issue an order while I'm. I mean, I could just. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but it's just a thought that I had.
well,
Well, I see people stealing the squad leader position when I go to take a piss, and that's gonna make me mad.
but I mean, like over and all, when you play with your friends, I mean, like the way we play, it's like, okay, what flag are we going to next? The squad leader's asking half the time, but if you jump into a game with some randoms, and and you want to play, but you don't want, maybe buddies aren't online. At least that way, if you want at least to fucking get the squad leader, you have a chance at it instead of trying to hope you get into a squad and people join you. So it
Yeah, or just saying forget it and hopping into your own created squad and being by yourself.
Exactly.
Like, it does give you a chance at getting squad leader if you
and
join
having
somebody
some,
else's full squad.
mates.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Exactly.
Well, it potentially. I mean, because there's always the. I just had this thought too. There's always the option of whoever the blueberry quote unquote squad leader is to just issue any fucking order. Any order, like, oh, we're over by Delta Flag, fucking, I'm gonna issue an order for Alpha, whatever. Like, just clear the queue.
They don't even do that now, so they're not going to fucking even know.
I would even say that. I would say them just issuing a bullshit order, like just to clear the queue, still is better than no orders.
But that would take effort, and these fucking people don't even respond to messages. I've messaged people saying, "Can you fucking issue a squad or you're the leader?" And they never even reply back to you. Like, they don't tell you to fuck off or nothing. Like, they're not fucking
Because they're
dead.
the squad leader. They don't have to take shit from a private. You better shut your mouth.
I probably have screen burn in from fucking requesting orders for one whole fucking round. I should have recorded it and uploaded it as a fucking montage, because that's all the fuck I did. The whole round was request. I jumped in front of a guy, spam request orders, and crouched in front of his gun for like a minute and a half, and he never even got the fucking point. I'm thinking, are you fucking dense? I used my new favorite line. I want to know who turned his fucking console on for him, because he ain't fucking smart enough to do it himself.
The salt continues to pour.
Yeah.
I'll be using that fucking mutiny option.
Let me guess. That piece of shit squad leader was a medic too, wasn't he? Triggered.
Probably. Let's go back and watch the
All right, we'll
footage.
move on. So the last thing that we're going to talk about for this podcast is server rentals, which is something again, same thing with the Suez. Like, everybody's been asking for it, but they kind of backhanded us with it. So right now, the current server rental system is a joke, and this is confirmed by one of the DICE developers on Reddit by saying that, hey, we're aware that there's a bunch of things missing, and we're working on this list of things that are missing. It's coming. Okay, well then why the fuck did they release it when they know that it's not complete? Like, they admitted it by giving us a list of things that it's missing.
Yep.
That's an admission of it being incomplete.
Yep.
So, okay, the post that I'm referencing right now is by a user named Growlmon Dragon Butt.
Lovely.
Yeah, so he posted, and we'll have this link in the description as well of the video, about Battlefield 1, do not rent a server. And some of the things he points out is that you can only add 6 maps/modes to the queue. So you can't even choose every map that the game offers.
Bullshit.
In the queue, which is bullshit. Yeah, of course. That's astounding to me. You can't even do an actual complete rotation in your private server. or it doesn't necessarily have to be private, but I mean, the server that you supposedly own for a certain amount of time, you can't even do a full rotation, a full representation of the game that you just paid more money for your own server. That's insane. So beyond just a basic capability of wanting to play the game in its entirety and having some control over that, you can't do it. You already, right off the bat, can't even play the entire game.
That's a mistake.
That's a huge mistake. As far as admin controls, there are no admin privileges or VIP privileges, queue priority, anything like that. You can't designate other people's admins or VIPs or anything. If the server's full, you cannot join in as an admin. You can't like override or kick anybody or anything like that. In the game, there's no game server menu. For instance, you can't kick people. You can't make any type of changes or anything in the game currently. There's no ban list. You can't ban people from your server.
When they say you can't make changes to, like, you can't kick players in the game, are they talking about while you're spawned in, or while you're in the server?
While you're actually in the server. And it's funny because when you're out of the server, you also cannot do anything or make any admin changes.
Exactly.
You cannot be out of the server and kick somebody in the server. It doesn't happen. Can't do it.
Yeah.
There's no way.
You can't even see the player list. So you have no idea who's even in your server.
List.
Here's a feature that was robust and fully formed for the last 2 games. We've tweaked it by removing 80% of its functionality and giving it back to you.
You got to remember, though,
You're fucking welcome.
Those were third-party servers.
Yeah, these are now EA servers.
So whether there's a coding issue or what the fuck happened, but these are not third-party servers. Whether that's the problem, whether they just had to thumb up their ass, dick in their mouth.
You would think that
it's code,
being a first-party server, we'd have even more options or control.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, there's, we with the podcast, we were going to do like in sections, and we are going to have the penis, the kind of like the joke of the month, type of deal with the fuck over the fans got. And not was this all going to be Battlefield related, because I mean, we're going to talk about other stuff down the road. But I mean, realistically, I mean, they didn't feed us the penis. They fucking held us down, and they had an elephant fucking teabag us.
They were like, you want some dick from somewhere else? No fucking way. We got all the dick you need right here.
Yeah, you don't even have to worry about.
They still want us to pay for it.
You don't want to worry about the issues that happen with other game releases, because I mean, the game works, but fucking Christ,
it's just missing a lot.
Yeah, how do you quality control is not in the Dice's wheelhouse.
No.
That sentence was too long. Quality is not in Dice's wheelhouse. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good game. It's a good game.
We love the game. So on top of those other problems, there's no way to remove in the settings, like for your server that you're setting up, there's no way to remove individual weapons or gadgets.
No.
You can only remove categories of weapons.
And not even gadgets. Like, you can't remove trip mines. You can only remove weapons. As in other words, it's all bolt action, or it's all... Yeah, so that's kind of really limited.
So no individual weapons. So, for example, like, we would always come across those no shotgun servers or whatever. So that would take out, pretty much the entirety of the assault class.
Yeah.
Other than the MP18, the Automatico, and the Hellrigel, the final one.
Yeah.
The other ones that you've got, there's I think 3 other different types of shotguns. So that's half the assault class right there. But not being able to remove individual weapons or specific gadgets such as like attachments or anything like that, you can't do it. That's crazy. Because you remember like the mass in Battlefield 4, how bad that was.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't be able to remove that in our current system.
No.
Wait, by bad you meant glorious, right?
Sure.
Because it was fucking amazing.
There's also currently no option to remove the behemoth or even specific vehicles.
Not only that, but you can't change any of the behavior of the behemoth. Like how many tickets the deficit has to be before it spawns, or anything.
Exactly. So there's a lot of things that, I mean, to make custom servers and to make custom games are missing from custom servers. So
not only that, but when you make any changes, for instance, if you took off a category of weapons or did like multiple modes or whatever, when you make these changes, your server is now labeled custom, and you can no longer get into it by quick match.
Right.
So that's really going to kill people randomly getting onto your server.
Exactly. So yeah, they definitely
don't understand.
They definitely made some mistakes on the server rentals.
Yep.
Definitely.
This is crazy. So yeah, that was a user named Growl Mondragon Butt. Thank you for that post. That'll be linked in the description, like we said. That's gonna wrap it up. We talked about level cap, the actual patch notes, changes and stuff that was made, and all of our comments, of course, are professional, doing work.
Penis.
Penis. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this podcast. I think we're just over an hour. What's our time at?
Motherfucker.
Yeah. the mortar. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, so that'll do it for this episode of the Bottlefield. We want to thank you guys so much for listening, and of course, if you have any comments, any corrections, or just want to call us assholes, go ahead and comment on the video. And we have the links to everything that we've talked about and referenced in the description. We are also on SoundCloud, so make sure you guys check us out over there if that's easier for you. There's the app on the phone and everything. So if YouTube doesn't fit your needs, find us on SoundCloud. We're over there. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you on the next Bottlefield podcast.
Later.
Deuces.